Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing good. Today, let us understand the poem Govinda's Disciple by Rabindranath Tagore. Let us know about the poet first. Rabindranath Tagore, an Indian poet who doesn't need any introduction. As we all know, the national anthems of India and Bangladesh were written by him. He was an Indian poet, short story writer, novelist, playwright, songwriter, musician, and artist. He actively participated in the Indian freedom struggle and founded Viswabharati University in Shantiniketan, West Bengal. Some of his best known works are the novels Gora, Ghare Baire, Shesher Kobita, and Gitanjali, a collection of poems. Rabindra Sangeet or Tagore songs written and composed by him are widely sung all over the world. This is about our poet. Let's go. Now, Govinda's disciple. Let me tell you what disciple is. Disciple means a student or a follower. Here, Govinda is the great Sikh teacher. Here, the poet Rabindranath Tagore says that people usually are fond of possessions. Possession means the materialistic things, the wealth or riches, whatever we have. We tend to value them greatly and get attached to them. Read this poem to know how a master and his disciple perceive material possessions and observe the difference in their lives. Before going into the poem, let me ask you a simple question. Do you think if people possess a lot of wealth, it will make them happy? So, obviously, the answer is no. It is not the materialistic things which make us happy, but it is the knowledge which makes us wealthier and happy. Now, let us read the poem.
Govinda's Disciple, Rabindranath Tagore. Far below flowed the Jamuna, swift and clear. Above frowned the jutting bank. Hills dark with the woods and scarred with the torrents were gathered around. Govinda, the great Sikh teacher, sat on the rock, reading scriptures when Raghunath, his disciple, proud of his wealth, came and bowed to him and said, I have brought my poor wealth, unworthy of thy acceptance. Thus saying, he displayed before the teacher a pair of gold bangles studded with costly stones. The master took up one of them, twirling it round his finger, and the diamonds darted shafts of light. Suddenly, it slipped from his hand and rolled down the bank into the water. Raghunath jumped into the water. The teacher set his eyes upon his book, and the water held and hid what it stole and ran its way. The daylight faded when Raghunath came back to the teacher, tired and dripping. He panted and said, I can still get it back if you show me where it fell. The teacher took up the remaining bangle and throwing it into the water said, It is there.
In this poem, the poet demonstrates the insignificance of material wealth and the supreme value of knowledge. Proud of his newly acquired wealth, Raghunath, a disciple of the great Sikh Guru Govind, approached him with an offering of 2 costly bangles. While the Guru is examining one of the bangles casually, it slips from his finger and falls into the river. Raghunath jumps into the water and keeps looking for it frantically till late evening. On returning, tired and empty handed, he requests the Guru to show him where the bangle has fallen. In response, the Guru throws the other bangle into the water and says, "It is here." Now, let us go into the poem and understand it in detail. Far below flowed the Jamuna, swift and clear. Above frowned the jutting bank, hills dark with the woods and scarred with the torrents were gathered around. In the first paragraph, the poet explains the scenic view of the place. Here, the river which was flowing was Jamuna. It was swift and clear. And around you can find the woods. Woods means here thick greenery. And torrents. Torrents means stream, the water flowing here. Govinda, the great Sikh teacher, sat on the rock, reading scriptures when Raghunath, his disciple, proud of his wealth, came and bowed to him and said, "I have brought my poor wealth, unworthy of thy acceptance." Here, scriptures means sacred writings of any religion, and thy means your. So here, Govinda, the great Sikh teacher, was sitting on a rock, and there comes the disciple Raghunath. So here, the disciple's name is Raghunath, and the teacher is Govinda, as we discussed in the beginning. So Raghunath came, who was very wealthy man. He came and bought 2 bangles which were made of gold for his guru. Guru means teacher. And he says that they were unworthy of his acceptance. They were not worthy for the teacher, because teacher is having a lot of knowledge, wisdom. Thus saying, he displayed before the teacher a pair of gold bangles studded with costly stones. So hope you understand these lines. He bought 2 gold bangles which were studded with costly stones. The master took up one of them, twirling. Twirling means spinning. He took one of the bangles and he started twirling the bangle. His finger, twirling it round his finger, and the diamonds darted shafts of light. So, darted meaning is already given here, gave out. It gave out light. The diamonds which were studded, as it is mentioned, costly stones were there, diamonds and rubies. So, the diamonds studded on that bangle, they started shafting light. Suddenly it slipped from his hand and rolled down the bank into the water. Raghunath jumped into the water. While the Guru was looking at the bangles, one of the bangle fell down, rolled down into the river. Raghunath, he knew that it was costly gift, so he jumped into the water to get the bangle back. The teacher set his eyes upon his book, and the water held and hid what it stole and ran it away. Raghunath, he jumped into the water to get the bangle which was made of gold, because he believes that it is very costly. But the teacher, who believes that it is not a worthy thing, he just sat and he was still looking at the book. Even the bangle fell down in the water, he did not react. He was just looking at the book. But what the water had done, the water had taken the bangle into it, and it had flown away. The water had flown away. The daylight faded when Raghunath came back to the teacher and tired and dripping. So the daylight faded, that means it was evening. Till evening, Raghunath searched for the bangle in the water. He came back to the teacher. He was so tired and dripping. Dripping means he was wet. Water was falling down from his clothes. He panted and said, I can still get it back if you show me where it fell. Panted means he was breathing with short and quick breaths. So he was breathing as if he was excited to get the bangle. And he said that if the guru shows him where the bangle is, he can go and get it, it seems. The teacher took up the remaining bangle and throwing it into the water, said, It is there. When the teacher was asked by the student to show him where the bangle is, he did not answer him, but instead he took the bangle which was remaining. That means another bangle he took, and he had thrown the other bangle also into the water. And then he said, It is there. That means the guru was not at all interested in the possessions or the materialistic wealth of the world. So, the best wealth which we get is wisdom or the knowledge. Hope you understand the poem. Thank you, children.